Welcome to A Marvelous Life. I'm Nashology, and today we are continuing the amazingly action-packed adventure of the awesomely aggressive alien, Venom. But quickly, if you haven't subbed to the channel yet, please do so, and let me know what stories you want me to cover next. In the last video, we were introduced to Flash Thompson's role as the government-sponsored superhero, Agent Venom. So if you haven't caught that one yet, go ahead and give it a watch, and we'll be right here when you come back. For everyone else, full disclosure, there's a slight gap between the contents shown in part 1 of this video series and the contents of the video you're about to watch right now. Before we go through part 2 of this series, we need to talk about a little event called Spider Island. A major event taking place in 2011, Spider Island saw the population of Manhattan transform into spider-like creatures after being infected by a genetically engineered virus. Luckily for New York, Agent Venom helped take down the one responsible for this outbreak, while Peter Parker used his ingenuity to cure the Manhattan citizens. Agent Venom played a pivotal role in this event as he was responsible for curing a monster-induced Captain America, recovering the superpowered anti-venom to help create a cure for the population, and also lent his military expertise in the final boss battle of the event. So, needless to say, Flash Thompson has been keeping himself busy. And that's likely a good thing, because during the events of Spider Island, Flash got some devastating news. His father is dying from liver failure, and although Flash and his father had a tumultuous relationship, he was able to say a heartfelt goodbye before his father ultimately passed away. This brings us to part 2 of our series on Agent Venom. Not only is New York reeling from the recent virus outbreak, but Flash Thompson is still trying to wrap his mind around losing his father. And on top of all that, throw in a cross-country road trip with the positively psychotic Jack-o'-lantern, and you got yourself one hell of a roller coaster. And trust me, all of this chaos leads to both an emotional and action-packed story ahead of us. Buckle your seatbelts, because this is the story of Agent Venom, Part 2. At last, the air is calm. A transcendent fluorescent glow dances over the New York skyline. A picturesque sunrise. But Flash Thompson shares nothing with the morning sky. The air may be calm, but the chaotic state of the concrete jungle is overwhelming. New York was recently hit by a devastating virus. Thousands of people affected. It'll take more than a beautiful sunset to get the city back on its feet. But to Flash Thompson, it's just another day living in New York City. Waking up naked like thousands of other New Yorkers, Ronald sprints to work. His clothes, his belongings, everything was left at the bank when the virus hit. His mother pleaded for him not to move to New York. Between alien attacks and virus outbreaks, the city proved to be uniquely unmatched in regards to imminent danger. But his mother will never understand. He needs to be here. This is where all aspiring actors are found. But wait a second, what's that sound? He'll never get to tell his mother that she was right. Taking advantage of a down-and-out New York, one man has decided this is the perfect time to strike it rich. 3 banks robbed, and many more to go. The police don't have the resources to stop this. But luckily, only one man is needed for this cowardly criminal. With Ron's fresh blood staining the tracks, Flash knows the sanctimonious scumbag needs to be put down. But the man shows no signs of stopping, for the hijacker is on a mission of personal satisfaction. Barreling down the street, the hijacker instills fear in the already distraught crowd. Determination is at the wheel, and nothing is going to stop him. Nothing and nobody. Flash's heart sinks as the image of the crushed pair burn into his memory. He couldn't save them. He was too slow. Flash's inadequacies take over. What kind of hero doesn't save the victim? What kind of man is too slow to stop evil? No, I won't be that man. I won't stand by and let chaos consume this city. Not anymore. Flash allows the hatred in, allows the anger to flow. It's time to let the symbiote loose. It's time to let the monster consume. And it's time to make the fucker pay. Returning back to base, the hijacker breathes a sigh of relief. It was a miracle Venom went down as easy as he did. With New York still reeling from the outbreak, today proved to be a massive success. Nobody is in a position to stop the hijacker. Or so he thought. Using his razor-sharp claws, Venom eviscerates the careless criminal, before grabbing both of his hands and squeezing with all of his alien strength, turning his hands into bags of flesh and powdered bones. But Venom is far from done, picking up the sadist by the head and smashing him face first into the wall, over and over and over again. Realizing the sick excuse of a man is an inch away from death, Flash tells Venom to finish the job. Rid the world of this scum. Venom, abide. As Venom walks off, the chaotic state of New York momentarily subsides. It's time to enjoy the beautiful sunrise after all. Arriving home, Betty Brant feels the somber mood hit her like a freight train. Seeing Flash on the couch, she wishes she could do anything to make him feel better. But losing a father is never easy, regardless of the strength of that relationship. Embracing, Betty knows that words aren't needed here. Not her words anyways. Flash's father had died from cirrhosis, a breakdown of his liver caused by decades of alcohol abuse. And although their relationship was tenuous at best, the death has hit Flash in ways he didn't think possible. All he ever wanted was to fix that relationship, and now time has run out. But with a look of hope etched across her brow, Betty pulls out Harrison Thompson's last words, written in a letter for Flash. As Flash closes his eyes, he feels a sense of peace wash over him, knowing he was the last thing his father thought of. As Betty speaks his father's words, the innumerable bad times begin fading away, leaving just the happy memories in its place. A single tear falls down Flash's cheek as he says goodbye to his father. It never ends. That's all Flash can think as the blistering storm makes its presence known at the funeral of his father. Although surrounded by loved ones, Flash can only feel his icy gaze from across the lawn. As if losing his father isn't enough, the universe always has more in store for Flash Thompson. But I guess that's just the life of a superhero. Funerals, weddings, family events, it doesn't matter, it never ends. As the funeral comes to an end, Flash Thompson hurriedly says goodbye to his friends and family, because he knows the unexpected visitor is anxiously waiting. Approaching, the man shakes Betty's hand and introduces himself as Jack, an old army buddy of Flash's. Jack tells Betty that it's nice to finally meet her. He's heard many, many good things about her, a sentiment which chills Flash to the bone. Although the timing is bad, Jack has dire need of Flash, a problem that only an old army buddy can help with. Encouraging Flash to help his friend in order to get his mind off the funeral, Betty leaves the two adversaries alone, much to the pleasure of Jack. If only stalking prey was always this easy. Pulling up to a secured compound, Flash quickly realizes what this is. There's only one person who could have sent Jack-o'-lantern to fetch him. And only one arrogant enough to do it in front of his friends and family. The self-righteous piece of garbage known only as Crime Master. The arms-dealing terrorist who plays at being a sophisticated businessman. And as always, Crime Master has some business for Venom. Cutting the pleasantries, he needs Venom in Las Vegas, and he needs him there now. There's an important artifact there that needs to be recovered. But don't worry, your Venom symbiote will know exactly what I'm talking about when it sees it. Get to Las Vegas, secure the item, do that, and your family won't be brutally murdered on the spot. Crime Master reminds Flash about their deal. He needs to play ball when called upon. Or else, losing a father will be the least of his concerns. Bitter, Flash has no choice but to give in. Crime Master knows too much about his life. But that's okay, because sooner or later, he's going to kill every single one of them. That's a promise. As the winter storm continues to unleash its wrath, the government black site known as Project Rebirth is about to get a surprising visitor. A visitor who will unknowingly put Flash's family in jeopardy. Because although he's not exactly an enemy, Flash knows he brings trouble. This visit can only mean one thing. As direct as you'd expect from Captain America, Steve Rogers informs General Dodge of his intentions. He's not here for a tour, and he's certainly not here for an inspection. He's here to shut down Project Rebirth for good. The Venom symbiote is not a tool. It's a danger to everyone around it, and Captain America is not leaving here without it. Project Rebirth is a government black site, which means nobody should know about its existence. So, why does Captain America know about it? During the Spider Island event, Captain America was transformed by the virus and taken to Project Rebirth. He was eventually cured, which was good, but now he knows about the illegal government operation that's using one of the most dangerous weapons on the planet for Black Ops missions. Not so good. But unfortunately for the Captain, that request might not be so simple after all. Sorry, Cap, but you can't have the Venom symbiote, because if you do, Crime Master will come for my family. And as that justification rings through Flash's head, he knows he shouldn't have to escape. But he has no choice. He can't put Betty back in the line of fire. He needs to keep her safe. He needs to get to Las Vegas. He'll do anything for her, regardless of the cost, no matter the stakes. But someone else might have a say in the matter. Determined to get the symbiote back, Captain America strikes hard and true. But Flash isn't about to give up his prized possession. Not while his family is in danger. Sorry, Cap. protecting his family is his only concern. Defeated, Captain America heads back to Project Rebirth. He needs to find Venom before the symbiote puts innocent lives in danger. But once again, more bad news rears its ugly head. Captain America lets off a hefty sigh as he realizes this hunt is far from over. Invasions, outbreaks, and now rogue government agents. It never ends. Once upon a time, he was one of the most feared men in America, a vigilante with an extreme bloodlust. A bloodlust that was reinforced by an alien costume, one that would make him do the devil's work. But now, he has his own holy war to wage, his own wrath to disperse, and it all starts with him. For no symbiote is safe as long as Eddie Brock still breathes. The original Venom. Eddie Brock was once Spider-Man's biggest threat and eventually an anti-hero who dedicated his life to protecting innocents. However, after a rather bad breakup with the Venom symbiote, Eddie Brock spent time as anti-Venom, where he learned to heal others with his newfound powers. After losing his healing powers during the climax of the Spider Island event, Eddie decided that he would cure the world in a brand new way, destroying any symbiote he can find. The night is young and the air is cool, but Flash Thompson is chilled to the bone. Not only is he a rogue government agent, but he's in possession of a stolen weapon. But that shouldn't matter, because nothing is more important than Betty. She needs to be kept safe at all costs, no matter what rules need to be broken. And Flash is prepared to make those sacrifices. But he needs Venom's help, because nobody else has the power to help him. Nobody else can get the job done. So, it'll be a lonely, quiet escape to Las Vegas. Well, maybe not so quiet after all, as he's met face to face with Jack-O-Lantern and his robotic henchmen. Quick to act, Flash is ready for Jack. He won't be caught off guard. After what he did with Captain America, he knows he can rip that smile from his face, once and for all. But Flash isn't ready for what comes next. With a disgusting grin carved into his face, Jack relays the mission. Flash isn't going to Vegas alone, Jack is riding shotgun. But Flash isn't up for games, not while Betty's life is on the line, a sentiment he shoves down Jack's tasteless, neurotic throat. He wants Venom to rip his head from his spine. But Jack knows the threat is baseless. If he truly wants to save Betty, then he better put his best smile on. Besides, what could be more relaxing than a road trip between two best buddies? Barreling down the highway, Flash keeps a cold exterior as Jack's incessant rambling begins to test his patience. Taking a dose of psychoactive substance, Jack elegantly explains the problems with Flash. He has no personality, no charisma, and no allure. And people wonder why the villain is always more interesting than the hero. And as far as interesting goes, Jack has Flash beat in every regard. Sure, Flash cares about Betty, but where's the macho attitude? The bravado, the thunderous swagger? Maybe Venom only feeds off confidence issues and body dysmorphia. Or perhaps Jack should just shut his goddamn mouth. With only a few miles to go, Flash can only count the seconds before this road trip from hell has reached its end. An end that cannot come soon enough as Jack continues to rip into every fiber of Flash's being. His mouth truly knows no end. But his carefree demeanor is about to be tested, as the horrific landscape of his face catches the waitress off guard, sending Jack into a roiling rage. Flash witnesses firsthand the cool facade of Jack-o'-lantern break down before his eyes. It's all just a ploy. But as the diner's owner fearlessly comes to his wife's protection, Flash hurriedly apologizes for his friend's unfortunate outburst. He's just a veteran with serious PTSD. But as the two bitterly march off, Jack explains that PTSD isn't even half of the problem. The venom in his veins runs much darker than he could imagine. Darker than Flash could possibly comprehend. Once upon a time, Jack was merely the same groveling miscreant as every other kid on the block. But that all changed on Halloween night, the night where his life took an unapologetic turn towards hell. Kidnapped from his parents, young Jack was chosen to uphold the legacy of a sadistic sociopath. Days turned into weeks as the psychological torture began to reshape his mind. This was his true father, wasn't it? He's the only person who's ever cared for young Jack. He merely wanted to save him. But learning to detach human life from value wasn't easy. His training needed a new touch. He needed to become the man his father wanted him to be. And he couldn't become that man without killing who he was, and everyone who thought they knew him. With a cold-blooded stare, Jack tells him it was that night he came up with his trademark, a throwback to the night his life forever changed. With his mood soured and appetite ruined, Jack gets up from the table. It's time to go to Vegas. While Flash lets the story sink in, his entire life has been fighting for a cause, fighting to protect innocent life, but Jack might be too far gone. As the duo hit the road once again, Jack tells Flash to cheer up. He gave the waitress a good tip after all.
Okay, let's make this quick. After a confrontation with Captain America, Flash Thompson has stolen the Venom symbiote. Why? Because Crime Master has a job for him, and he needs Venom's help. If he says no, Betty Brant will be the next to die. After a long, joyous trip to Las Vegas with the psychotic Jack-o'-lantern at his side, Flash has finally reached Sin City. He's here to retrieve something important, and he has no idea what it is. But, as you can probably imagine, it's not gonna be good. Let's finish part 2 of Agent Venom.
It's a packed Friday night, and the casino's vibrancy decorates the Las Vegas Strip. But the night's thrills are about to increase. A monster is on the prowl, and Jack-o'-lantern is ready for the fireworks to start. He reminds Flash that the prize is on the 89th floor. It's time to make his father proud. In the casino's security room, an elevator camera is offline. Something is happening. Guards are not responding. With weapons raised, the security gather around the elevator door. Whoever it is, they're only here for one reason. And it'll take an army to stop him.
Reaching the prize, Flash can feel the symbiote grow stronger by the second. Whatever he's here for is causing the symbiote to burst into anger. He can no longer control it. Once again, he's in the passenger seat. Only one thing on Earth could drive Venom this crazy. Another symbiote.
If you're more of a casual Marvel fan, then you might be a little bit in the dark here. This symbiote is called Thompson. Debuting back in 2004, Thompson is the offspring of Carnage. This would also make him Venom's grandkid. Now, unlike Carnage, Thompson has been a force for good, partnering with a police officer by the name of Patrick Mulligan. And despite the strangely evil-sounding name, he's also the first symbiote that Spider-Man genuinely considers an ally. Now, spoiler alert, in one of the weirder moves made by Marvel, after appearing in his own 6-issue series, Patrick Mulligan was killed off-page, and his wife and son were eaten by a demon named Blackheart. Unfortunate.
With his eyes on the Thompson symbiote, Venom's territoriality begins kicking in. He can't let the symbiote live. He's compelled to destroy it. But Jack is here to prevent that very thing, swiftly blasting away the Hulk-like Venom and securing the Thompson symbiote. Venom may be crazed, but Jack can complete the mission without him. But Venom's psychosis is too great as he lunges headlong for the escaping lunatic, knocking both combatants out the 89th floor window. And although Jack is kept airborne by his jet-propelled broomstick, Venom is not. But this fight can't continue. Venom is far too powerful and far too angry. Jack knows that if he's going to get out alive, he needs to leave now. But the anger is too great, the compulsion is too strong. Venom won't give up the fight, not until Thompson is a lifeless sludge. Looking back, Jack knows this isn't going well. He can't stop him. He can't get through to Flash. Ah, shit. Dazed from the impact, Jack can feel the seconds counting down. This is too much. How the hell can he possibly escape? Knowing he has only one shot left, Jack appeals to Flash. His family is dead. Betty is dead. If he lets Venom win, then everyone Flash has ever loved will be killed. He will finally fail in his protection of Betty. And with those magic words, Flash begins to regain control. Although driven to insanity by the presence of another symbiote, Venom doesn't want Betty to suffer. He relaxes control and puts Flash back in the driver's seat, much to the delight of Jack. Rocked by utter fear for perhaps the first time in his entire life, Jack hurries off. That was an unbelievably close call. But the mission is complete. Thompson is retrieved, and Jack narrowly escaped with his life. Three days have passed since Vegas, but the intensity of Flash's life hasn't improved. Between the passing of his father and the constant death threats, there's really only one way forward. After everything his alcoholic father went through, he knows he shouldn't be doing this. Anything but this. But in order to move forward, Flash will need a lot more courage. He nervously dials her number. Sweat beads form and his fingers shake. He reminds himself, this needs to happen. He's put her through too much already. If only she knew her life was in constant jeopardy. But hopefully, that ends today. Hearing her voice on the line brings him pause, but only for a moment. He can't let this continue. He only called to say goodbye.
Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed part 2 of Agent Venom. If you want to see more, either this series or a completely different one, be sure to leave a comment and let me know. Till next time, I'm Nashology, and this is A Marvelous Life.